Hey there, welcome to Inside Fermentarium. You're watching episode 3 and I'm your host, DJ Spees, the man with the shiny hat. All hail the power of the shiny hat. Now why does this never happen to me? In an Italian grape festival in Marino, the festival starts by pumping white wine through a fountain in the town square. Now, someone screwed up the plumbing and white wine flowed through the water taps in people's homes. The free wine only lasted for a few minutes, but that'd be enough time to fill quite a few carafes. The locals thought it was a gift from the city council. Yes, it was. Here's something which sounds a little bit off if you think about it, but it actually might be tasty. Beer-flavored ice cream. Now I know some people will pour Guinness or another dark beer over vanilla ice cream, or use stout in a stout beer float, but these ice creams are already beer flavored. I first heard about this happening in Japan with some other weird ice cream flavors like eel or fish ice cream, but the beer ice cream might actually be catching on here in the States. For example, there's Ben & Jerry's Black and Tan ice cream. Now as uptight as the feds get about marketing alcohol to anything which could possibly be consumed by children, I'm kind of shocked that anyone is making beer ice cream in America. Now the beer ice cream does not have alcohol, but it does give me some ideas for the holidays and an excuse to try making ice cream at home. You've seen those really big glasses at Oktoberfest. The big ones, like this. Ever wonder what it's called? It's called a Maßkrug. Maß means measure, and when you're asking for ein Maß, you're asking for one measure. This glass holds 1 liter of beer. It totally trumps the tiny little pints we use in pubs. Speaking of Maßkrugs, one beer is cute, but when you give a girl 21 beers, nothing good can come of it. Anita Schwartz from Eichenau was attempting to carry 21 Maßkrugs 40 meters. That's 1 liter in each Maßkrug for us non-Deutschers. If she could do it, she would hold the world's record for most beers mugs carried. The contest is called Maßkrugtragen, and it's a contest Anita takes very seriously. If you don't believe me, check out her webpage. The site is complete with videos of her carrying beers in huge festivals. The story does not have a happy ending, however. Unfortunately, she couldn't hold her liquor. It was tragic. None of the beers survived. Another attempt at carrying 19 beers did break the record, so if you think you can carry more Maßkrugs, 20 is the number you're going to shoot for. So, what kind of beer are you making the holiday season? You know, you've only got 2 weeks till Thanksgiving, and then on top of that, another 3 weeks or so till the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Winter Solstice, Free Toys Week. Now, nothing says holiday beer like spice beers. Personally, I'm making a vanilla porter and a cherry porter for the neighborhood party. Now, I might make a wit beer with cranberries if I have time, but like I said, time is running short. I made a 10-gallon batch of porter, and then I'm splitting that 10-gallon batch into 2 5-gallon batches. It works great because I get 2 beers for the effort of a single beer. I started with a good porter recipe and modified it slightly to remove some of the hops. If you don't start with a good base beer, the fruit or spices might actually amplify the off flavors. Spicing beers can be a tricky endeavor. If you add too much to your beer, the spice will overpower the beer. The effect you're shooting for is dessert, or as my sister Joan calls it, yummy in a bottle. If you're adding nutmeg, cinnamon, etc., you want to shoot for gingerbread, not the spice rack. The best way is to add less spice than you think the beer needs during the boil. Then, after your primary fermentation, taste the beer. If it needs more, add a bit more, wait a few days, and taste again. Repeat this process until you get the flavor you want. For fruits, add the fruit to your beer when you get to the secondary. If you add the fruit to your beer during the primary, you'll lose a lot of the fruit and flavor and aroma. Fruit is mostly fructose, and the yeast will tear through it like a tornado in Kansas. Make sure you have a blow-off tube. In both cases, you'll want to back off the bittering hops in your recipe about 10%. You'll also want to ditch the flavoring and aroma hops. Hop flavors and aromas do not mix well with fruit or spices. For an in-depth look at spicing your beer, check out my article on Fermentarium.com. With so much effort and focus on being green, I'm really shocked that no one has thought about this one before. We recycle glass bottles, but for wine, the cork gets tossed. The Recork America project is sponsored by Amorim, the largest American cork producer. They set up a deal to collect corks at 25 Whole Foods stores in Northern California and Reno, Nevada. While most people might only save about 6 corks a week at most, bars and restaurants save far more. The bars and restaurants have collected 2 million corks so far. An estimated 13 billion corks are produced each year from trees, so recycling corks could save tons of money. The corks cannot be used to make new corks, however, but they can be used to produce other cork products. The reason recycled corks cannot be used is the potential for TCA risk. TCA is the microbe responsible for corked wine. The recyclers are correcting this problem by treating the recycled cork and hope to have approval to use recycled corks. Lately it seems that the world's going to hell in a handbasket. If we didn't have enough to worry about, now they're messing with our kegs. Improperly disposed radioactive containers and nuclear waste are being smelt into new metal items, such as purses, knives, sinks, and most horrifying, beer kegs. Last year, U.S. Customs refused 64 shipments of radioactive goods, most coming from India. Second place goes to China, of course. As if this could get any worse, devices containing cesium-137 and cobalt-60 are often found hidden inside used kegs. That means someone was trying to hide the detection of these toxic materials. It makes you think twice about picking up those used kegs on special. Look out, here's more link love coming at you. If you're a homebrewer like me, you'll want to check out Beersmith.com. This is the same guy that makes Beersmith software. He has lots of great style articles and many articles on homebrewing tips and techniques. Some of the information tends towards the geeky side of homebrewing, and that's why I like it. I like the science side of homebrewing. Now, if you're looking for new beers to try, you want to check out the Beer Babe's Brew Reviews. Twice a week, she reviews a different beer and provides great analysis and gives you a picture of the beer. It's fun to just browse through the different beers and see which ones she liked and the ones you liked as well, or to find beers that you haven't tried yet. She's also on the East Coast, so you get exposure to beers not carried on the west side of the country. It's great beer info. So, there you go. Great sites to go check out. If you're wondering where I'm finding these great sites, I'm usually finding them from people on Twitter. Lots of beer and wine fanatics there. If you're on Twitter, come join the fun and remember to follow me. I'll follow you back. Now, if you want to keep up on new episodes and articles on Fermentarium, make sure you subscribe. There's a button up there. If you don't use an RSS reader, you can also have the new articles sent to your email. I don't use the email addresses for anything else, so subscribe away. And with that, I'll leave you till next week for another beer on Inside Fermentarium.
Only flirting.